So let's dive into a story that, believe it or not, starts with rain clouds but ends with sharks at the beach. We're going to connect the dots between the sky, the rivers, and the ocean to really understand a mystery that's playing out right along the coastline.
It's the big question on everyone's mind, right? Especially if you live anywhere near the coast. You hear the news, and the ocean suddenly feels a lot more dangerous. And, people are right to be concerned. So what is actually going on?
Well, here's the thing, and this is the most important part. This isn't random. It's not just a string of bad luck. There is a clear and actually a pretty fascinating ecological story happening here. And we're going to break it down piece by piece. That whole story begins, of all places, with the rain. All that incredible rainfall we've seen on Australia's east coast, that's the first domino to fall in a very, very specific chain of events.
And to get it, you really have to look at Sydney's unique geography. The city's basically defined by three major river systems, and these rivers act like massive funnels, just channeling all that rainwater from way inland directly out to sea.
So you've got the Hawkesbury up north, you have the Parramatta running right into the harbor, and then the Georges River down south. All of this fresh water has to go somewhere, and it's all pouring into coastal waters, completely and dramatically changing the environment.
So you've got this massive change happening in the water. What happens next? Well, the local wildlife responds. The entire food chain gets totally shaken up, and it forces the sharks to completely change their behavior.
Now, here is a fact that a lot of people miss. We are primarily talking about bull sharks here, and they are not invading from the deep ocean. Get this, thousands of them already live full-time in Sydney's rivers. They are locals.
And here's that chain reaction, step by step. The heavy rain makes the rivers too fresh for the sharks to handle. This pushes what's called the brackish line, that really nutrient-rich zone where the fresh and salt water mix, further out into the ocean. The bait fish, they love this stuff, so they flock to this line to feed. And the displaced bull sharks, they just follow their food source right out to the coast.
So this is really the main takeaway. It's a story of displacement, not invasion. The sharks aren't new arrivals. Their homes and their hunting grounds have just temporarily shifted from the rivers out to the beaches.
But displaced sharks alone don't explain the whole story. There's a second really critical factor that makes this situation so dangerous. All that runoff makes the ocean water incredibly murky.
I mean, think about it like this. In clear water, a shark's coming in. It uses its amazing eyesight for a final check, realizes you're not a seal, and it turns away. But in that murky brown water, that crucial sense is gone. Vision is useless, so they have to rely on their other senses, like vibration, and they commit to what's called an exploratory bite, just to figure out what you are.
And this explains why the vast, vast majority of these encounters are a single bite. It's not a predatory attack. The shark bites, immediately realizes it's made a huge mistake, and moves on. But of course, tragically, even one mistaken bite can be absolutely devastating.
Okay, so we've connected the rain, the rivers, the sharks, and the murky water. The goal here is absolutely not fear, it's awareness. Because once you understand the why, you can make much, much smarter decisions about when and where you get in the water.
And the takeaways are so direct and practical. It's simple stuff. Avoid the ocean right after heavy rain. If you get to the beach and the water is brown and murky, just stay out. And if you see huge schools of baitfish breaking the surface, that is a dinner bell for predators. It's a clear sign the food chain is going crazy right where you are.
So ultimately, it all comes down to this. It's not about being the bravest or most confident person in the water. It's about being the smartest. Understanding and respecting these environmental triggers is absolutely key. The real question isn't just, are there sharks out there? It's, have today's conditions made a mistaken encounter much more likely?